Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to another video. As you could see here on this Alfa 164, on the previous video I told you all about the issues of this car. When replacing the cam belt, the owner said that the car now runs very rough, and that is true. So I want to start with the basics, which is to check the compression of the engine and also to see the proper timing of the engine. If that is all okay, now we can move on to other stuff. But let's start with the basics to see and understand if this engine is right on timing. To do so, I already did that on the Alfa 166. It is very similar to this car. You have to take out the wheel liner. You have to take out here the covers for the timing belt. The 166 did not have them at the time, but there is nothing to be worried about. You have to take out here these covers for the spark plugs and also take out the intake plenum, the intake manifold to reach down on the cams itself to see the timing marks. Okay, so let's do it. So, how bad is it? Yeah, it's bad. On the front head it's normal, okay? I will show you in a second. But on the rear head, why? Let me show you a tip or two how to do this, okay? As you remember, on the engine of the 166, you have on here, because it is the same engine, okay? That marking over there on the shaft and the mark on this part over here. And on the rear head, ta-da! Okay, and some say, no, it's not that bad. Okay, we will count the teeth to show you how much it's off. That little difference over there, I believe, I don't want to bet with you, but I think 2 or 3 teeth will be out of timing. And also the TDC over here, I will show you how to find that, okay? So you crank the engine, like I told you on the video of my 155 turbo diesel, until you find TDC. And just like on any other engine, you turn the crankshaft until you have your top dead center right at top, like that, okay? So now he's moving backwards, which means he's going down. So you want to stop right at TDC, like any other engine, okay? So let's do it like one more turn. I think it's this one. And got it. Now I can turn my dial to 0 just to mark the spot. Now I can see on the shafts that the markings do not coincide. This one does not coincide. Here on the front head, we can see that the markings coincide perfectly. So we have to work on the rear head. I'm not a super fan of zip ties, but where they are needed, I think it's really crucial. So they put this knock sensor here, a new one, and the wire is rubbing here on this pulley. So that's not good for engine management. What I'm going to do now is to mark here the camshaft tooth to that nut over there to see, wait a minute, this pen here is not to do the cam belt. I do not do cam belts with pens. This is just to show you how many tooths are off of that rear head over there. Just for that. I do not do any timing belt or chain with pens or markings or paint or any other stuff. Except for that little thing on Alfa 155, if you want to check that out. So I want to show you in this way how many tooths are off of the rear head. That's all. At the end, I just clean up these markings of the pen, okay? And just like so. So this is not to do any timing job, nothing at all. Just to see how many tooths are off, okay? Please remember this. Overturning the engine now to match those marks, I will see on the markings that I did over here with the paint how many tooths are off. That's all I want to do, just for a curiosity thing, okay? So turning the engine now. And I think I'm there, okay? And I can see over here, if I did bet with someone, I'd lose because I said it was about 2 or 3 teeth, but in fact it is only 1, but 1 is enough to create a very messy engine work. Now, before fixing this, putting one tooth advanced on the engine, on the rear head, let's do something. Let's do a compression check before and after this procedure. I want to be absolutely 100% sure that everything is as it's supposed to be done, including the gap of the valves over there with the valve buckets and the valve rods and everything. I want to check everything if it is on the right condition. As long as the engine is open on the top part, at least, I want to make sure everything is really up to snuff. Another thing that I find interesting here with the markings that I did, sometimes people doing timings, they get confused with this. Just because an engine has some timing marks with pens that someone did on the past does not mean it is correct. Okay, even if you do not have any markings, if you just mark yourself for the first time where the engine was before you disassembled the timing components, does not mean that the engine was right to begin with. I already did catch some engines that were wrong from the factory. Oh yes, some engines, not this engines, some PSA engines that I work with came wrong from the factory. So always do your homework, always check yourself the timing marks. Someone told me that those marks over there on some engines are wrong from the factory as well. So you have to be very careful with that, okay? And I hope this is not one of them. But the thing is, you really need to do your homework, do your research, and ignore all the markings that someone did or not with the pen. Please do not use this after all, and follow the correct procedures to do so. So let's do a quick compression check, do the correction here of this cam, and redo a compression check. But before, I will check also the gap here on the valves, okay? Taking out here the tensioner for the belt. Okay, you have to, at the end I show you how to tension it, but it's truly very easy. At this point I don't know why they make this so hard that it needs to be. Again, I know why they make it so hard, because they don't want to disassemble the top of the engine, but you have to do that. So I will remove the tensioner out to be able to have more free space for the belt. At least the bottom nut and washers, I believe. 2 washers, okay, I buy that. Okay. Come on, come loose. Now putting here my homemade tool, not mine, it's borrowed, to put that in place. Okay, a tooth. Yes, a tooth. Now make sure the belt is tightened all the way around. It is not. If it is not, do like this. Now tensioning here the belt, I can see where the potential problem is with these timings. As you turn, okay, could you see? As you move on this side of the belt, on this side it loses tension. In this way it jumps a tooth. So you have to be very careful, like I told you on the video, on the playlist of the videos of the timing belts. You have to be very confident of your work. If it does this symptom, first of all, you have to confirm it, okay? If you have everything aligned up and the tensioner in place and everything in place, you have to rotate the engine to see if the work is good or not. Like on the case of my Alfa 155, okay? So on this case, I will pull on this part of the belt, okay, on top side, and now I have to either call someone or make sure I can do this with both hands. Okay, now I'll think now again, can you see? Again, pulling up on this side. So I was able to put the tension on this side of the belt, and now I have to put my finger over here. If not, it will lose all of the tension. And now putting the tensioner, I will try to keep the belt good and tight. If not, no problem. I try it any other way. I know I have to disassemble all of this, but I really think I can do it like this. It's very easy to work on this car. I don't know why so many people say bad about these engines. Oh well, more for me. So that easy. Not even the accessories belt I have to remove. So now I put my washer and a nut over there, rotate the engine a bit and see what's what. To tension the tensioner, it's very easy. Okay, just put your driver over there on the hole and pull on it, or push, twist on it, yes. And it will, no, not this way, okay, this way. And now you have to make sure the arrow and the point are pointing at each other. Now, how is it working? Now, from your point of view, it may seem out, but you have to look at it straight on. But for this test, it does not really matter all that much. You just have to put it near. You need to point the arrow to the groove. In my point of view, is perfect. And now with some other wrench assembly, tighten it. It does not have to be, for now, perfect, because I will rotate the engine at least one time, preferably 2 times, and see if the markings are all okay, and only then I have to reorganize here the tension of the thing, okay? So this is not very important for now. At the end you can do it like proper way. Okay, just a smidge in here as well. Now rotate the engine. Now before rotating the engine, is the first cylinder on TDC? Yes it is. Is this camshaft on the correct markings? Yes it is. This one, is it? Yes it is. Because even though I did not move this shaft, because of the belt constantly skipping, I may have that problem later on. So let's rotate the engine. It is safe to do so, and let's see if the markings coincide again and again, no matter how many turns do you turn it. Seriously guys, this may well be the best engine to do a timing. I already did timing on so many different engines, and this one is one of the easiest to do. Look at that. The markings that I did, it has exactly 1 tooth off. TDC here, there on point, there on the marking, and also on the bottom side I have a marking and an arrow, a metallic shape one or plastic or something on the oil pump. So this engine is perfectly timed. Even the tension is almost spot on. Just have to regulate that a little bit more and torque those nuts. And here we go. How to time perfectly a Alfa Romeo Busso engine V6 turbo 2-liter 12 valve. Next, very quickly, let's just see the compression on those 3 cylinders over there to see if we gain a little bit of compression. So the initial data of compression was on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd cylinders 7 bar, and the 4th, 5th and 6th 7.5. Now, even on those on the front 7.5, I think it is a little bit low. You guys tell me if you have more experience on these engines. This is my 2nd Busso of all time, and the first one was not even finished. So yeah, I know that turbo engines normally have a little bit less compression ratio than normal. If it is, for example, an 8 bar engine, a compression ratio, I think, okay, we are not so far away from the desired. So 7.5, if I can gain that over there. Of course, I may not gain that immediately because the valve seats and the valve faces may be a little bit pitted, not pitted, but filled with carbon deposits and so on. So the engine may need a bit of road to have a perfect running engine, and the compression to raise up a bit on those valve seats. Okay, so let's do a very quick compression ratio test to finalize the video, and the rest leave it to me, because on the assembly you just reverse the steps that you did to do the disassemble. On the disassemble, already did it on the Alfa 166. Okay. So about to hear the valve clearance. On the exhaust side we have, normally you have more clearance on the exhaust side because of the heat, but this engine is a bit different because of the configuration of the pushrod system, and we have just about 0.15 millimeter to 0.25, 20 of tolerance. I know this engine is a bit tight on tolerance because it is a bit noisy. So I have 0.15 entering very well, and 0.20 just entering. That is very nice. And this side, the same thing. And here, perfect. And here I have to rotate the engine to do so. On the intake side, it is about 0.40 to 0.47, 50. And I have just that, okay? On the 0.40, it enters very well. On the 45, it enters tight, snug. That is just what you want, okay? You want a very snug fit on the intake or exhaust for that matter. And on this rear head is the same stuff. On the exhaust side, 20 just barely, and the 15 perfect. So about 17, I believe. And for the States, it is 0.15 or 0.20 millimeters. We call it. So this one is a bit tight. The 15 is just does not enter. I have to regulate the exhaust one. But this exhaust one is able to be regulated. The intake ones, if I have to regulate it, I have to take out the camshaft. So, I hope all the intakes are good. Another thing, I was able to find the gasoline leak. That horrible smell that I can feel and smell inside of the car is the second injector over there. Very nasty, very smelly, like gasoline, and it's dripping all over the engine to the floor. So I hope it's just the O-ring on top there, and I can fix the issue. No more injectors are leaking. No hoses are leaking for now. So guys, I really hope you like this video. I hope you can consider to subscribe to my channel and follow more videos to come. Next week I will have a video for this car, for this upgrade of brakes. The car brakes well, like you could saw on the previous video last week, but the feeling of good braking is just not there. Bear in mind that you have a caliper that is mounted almost horizontally. The bleeders are over here. Yes, bleeders, plural. One here and another one over here. And they are horizontal. If they were here, it will be different. See you next time, guys. Bye!